Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Valheim. So this one, as you can see right here, this is what was the arena which you saw in some previous videos, and I thought, what if I could try and turn this into a base? So this way it would be a bit of an underground base. So the idea is I want to see if I place stuff on top of the foundations or ceilings or whatever, flooring, whatever you want to call it. What happens down here? If we can place stuff on top, then that would mean that you can, of course, then have a hidden base. So we'll just kind of fill this out and see what happens, and after that we'll take it from there. But however, there is a cool idea here, in the sense that you can actually have a fairly defendable base from the NPCs in the game, so that's pretty cool in itself. So what I did basically, just for those that are interested in this method, and I'm not saying it is the perfect method by any means, but what I did do is I basically ended up, or started out by kind of just digging around a hole. I went as deep as the game would allow me, and then basically just built a perimeter out of stones all the way around. So again, I started from the lowest point on the area that I was building, built it as high as I can, and basically then built the outer wall, if you want to call it, at the same height approximately. It doesn't have to be perfect. So in theory, going back to what I'm doing right now, we're using the hole to see what happens. And okay, that's not what I was expecting, but yes. So you can't place stuff on top of the flooring, because if you do that, it goes all the way down, which kind of sucks. It would have been really nice if you could do that, and then so therefore you'd have like a hidden base. I mean, it's still not a bad base. It is very defendable, and the NPCs in the game cannot get up here. You can, of course, have a ladder of some sort or staircase going down towards the main, or towards the land. As you can see, it's quite high up, so not even trolls can get in here, which is kind of cool because the ground does act as a very good defendable and indestructible sort of defense from the NPCs. So definitely worth doing something like this. Now the whole catch is, of course, you want to build somewhere high that is fairly high above sea level, so that's kind of important, that right there. So I'm going to show you what this looks like when it's kind of cleaned out of all the stuff that I kind of did. Of course, this is still going to be the arena where I am going to be putting creatures against each other just to see who wins and all that sort of stuff. That was its intention, an original purpose, and that is what I'm going to keep it as. But there is a lot of space. You can have quite a few floors or levels in here, and you can store a lot of stuff if you want to. You can, yeah, definitely worth looking at building a base similar to this, for those that are interested. So I'm just having a look up there. We don't want to go out too far. Remember, there is a wall made out of stone, and the cool thing about it is, as I said, the NPCs can't damage it, so that makes it quite defendable. Now, is this a PvP base? Probably, most likely not, because, of course, the walls can be taken down quite easy, and that's kind of the cool thing about this game. It's unless you build on a structure that is indestructible in the game and high up with maybe just one access point, there really isn't a raid-proof base. But as far as the NPC raids, this kind of works really well, and there's a lot of space in here. There's a ridiculous amount of space. I'm just gonna level out the ground, and then you could probably start putting down some flooring. You can put down some stuff and have campfires and all that sort of stuff. I would probably build a ladder or staircase, spiral staircase going on the inner walls, outer walls. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, build a staircase going up to the top, and then at the top again you can have a castle or something, and you can have a yeah, I'd say kind of like a castle, fortified type of building on top. So, you know, from the outside it would look like there's a castle, but there's also a lot of space down below. As I said, the way the water mechanics works in this game is that basically it's one plane, and if you dig underneath it, you will basically be touching the water. So very important, is to kind of build it on a hill that is decently high above the water level. That is quite important, because what happens is from time to time the ocean will swell up, so that will tend to happen during storms and stuff like that. So you don't really want your things floating, so that's why it's important to kind of be slightly or decently above the water level. So from the outside, this is what it looks like. I mean, you can build bigger if you want. As you can see, the sides are fairly cliff-like, fairly steep, and so it's kind of challenging for the NPCs to get up here. Now, of course, this would go in biomes such as, I don't know, the Black Forest, places where you don't really have indestructible structures that you can build on top of. I personally like it. I mean, I built it out as an arena where I'm going to test all sorts of creatures, have them fight against each other, because it is cool in this game that the NPCs have their own factions, and they will go into a fight when you try and mix them. Now, of course, according to how the map is designed, most times these factions won't really meet each other, but it's nice to put them up against each other and see what happens, how they fight, who's better, all that sort of stuff. So with that being said and done, that is it for this video. It's kind of a short video, but I just wanted to show this as a concept for base building, for building a what I'd like to call, for lack of better words, a underground base, because you can't really go too deep in the ground either. So that is an important element to keep in mind here. If you have enjoyed it and want to see more videos like this with regards to building bases and locations where you can build bases in the game, don't forget to hit that like button. Let me know down below through a comment. I will look at more ways of building bases in the game. And of course, for those interested, you can always find me on the Setopia Discord. Links, of course, you can find down below in the video's description. And until next time, stay safe, folks.